want to welcome you back again for another in our series of adventures. If Diane would please pay attention. Thank you. This isn't home, you know.
Oh, lucky for you. You're going to get it.
All right.
Get it when you get home.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Are we set? Okay, here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. CGLY 212 on your radio dial is on the air and pleased to present once again for your listening enjoyment another in our series of Master Mystery Theater. Tonight's presentation is from our most popular program, The Adventures of Dirk Dingwall, Private Eye. Yes, Dirk Dingwall, the man with the chisel-cut features hiding a soft and gentle heart. Also with Dirk tonight will be his companion, millionaire heiress, Holly Willowcrisp.
Oh dear, look at that lovely eyes.
But before we begin tonight's program, a word from our sponsor, Live Right Appliances, their dealers and agents. Ladies of our listening audience, are you searching for just the right romantic gift for your anniversary? Well, look no farther than your Live Right Appliance dealer. For only the next 4 months, your Live Right dealer will have on special liquid lawn mower cleaner. Yes, the newest invention from our research laboratories in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Liquid lawn mower cleaner. Your husband will love you all the more for this thoughtful, romantic gesture. But always remember to store this item away from warm and closed spaces and do not use near any open flame or heated objects. And remember, you should always
live right with Live Right.
Now, on with the adventures of Dirk Dingwall. Tonight's episode, The Kitty Cat Conspiracy. Tonight we find Dirk impatiently waiting outside Salt Chuck's coffee shop. As he paces up and down,
well, well, you finally made it, Willowcrisp.
Yes, Holly Willowcrisp, millionaire heiress to the Willowcrisp Candy Company fortune and holder of the mortgage on the Dirk Dingwall Detective Agency.
Nice to see you, Mr. Dingwall. I don't understand your tone, though. I'm practically on time.
I guess you're right. For you, an hour late is right on time.
Never mind the sarcasm, Mr. Dingwall. I have a job for you that will help you pay the money you owe on the mortgage.
All right. Let's get down to business. First of all, why are we meeting here? You know I really hate this place.
How can you say that? Salt Chuck's is simply the most stylish place in the city. It serves only the best and the finest.
Best what? Certainly isn't coffee.
Only the finest in clientele, Mr. Dingwall. All my A-list social set friends come here. This is simply the place to be.
Wonderful pillow strip. I knew it wasn't for the coffee.
Never mind. Let's get our drinks so that we can get on with the job I have for you.
All right, let's just get this ordeal over. Where's the waiter?
Good afternoon, Mrs. Willowcrisp. Always a pleasure to see you. Welcome to Salt Chuck's, and you too, sir. Have you seen our selection?
Well, thank you. I'm not quite sure what I'll have today.
Well, we have, of course, cappuccino, frappuccino, latte light, and of course the finest selection of imported and exotic coffees anywhere. All served, of course, in our very best china.
I'll have the frappuccino with a double lime twist and double cream.
Very good, Mrs. Willowcrisp, an excellent choice. And you, sir?
Do you have any ordinary, plain, North American type coffee?
I'm sure we do, somewhere.
Okay, one plain, ordinary North American coffee. 2 cream, 1 sugar.
Very well then. 1 very sophisticated frappuccino and 1 sludge.
All right, now that I've been put in my place, can we get on with business?
Mr. Dingwall, what I'm about to tell you is incredibly sensitive and must be handled with the utmost discretion.
Well, of course, pencil clip, of course. You know I am the soul of discretion.
I never thought for a moment that you had a soul, Mr. Dingwall, let alone discretion.
So what's this incredibly sensitive issue?
Have you heard of the Kitty Cat Club, Mr. Dingwall?
The Kitty Cat Club? Of course I've heard of it. That club is simply the sleaziest one in town.
Well, I'll admit it does have somewhat of a bad reputation.
No, not just bad. It's the worst. So what about the Kitty Cat Club?
Well, it's a little difficult for me to say, Mr. Dingwall. Well, Mr. Dingwall, I'm one of the owners of the Kitty Cat Club.
You're what?
Shh, not so loud.
Are you telling me you own the sleaziest club in town?
Not all of it, just some of it.
Oh, well, that makes it so much better, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure your A-list social set friends don't go there.
Please, Mr. Dingwall, it was part of my darling late husband's estate. He won it in a poker game with Algernon Harrington. You know how I was devoted to him, and I just can't bring myself to sell something that he left me.
Oh, it's that profitable, is it?
Well, it is pretty successful.
Okay, now we've established the fact you own most of a very disreputable business. What's the problem?
Well, there's been some strange things happening at the club.
At the Kitty Cat Club, strange is absolutely normal.
No, Mr. Dingwall, I mean really strange things.
Can you be a bit more specific?
Well, Mr. Dingwall, my manager tells me the staff are seeing someone strange walking through the building and furniture being moved around while the club is closed.
Seeing someone strange in that building is nothing unusual. At the Kitty Cat Club, they're all pretty strange, including the staff.
Mr. Dingwall, I'm going to tell you something, and I don't want you to laugh.
Well, this should be good. Go ahead.
The staff says they have seen Fauntleroy Reginald Amistad III.
Who in heaven's name is Fauntleroy Reginald Armistead III?
He was Buffy Kincaid's second husband. Or was it his third? Or third? Oh, I've lost track. Oh yes, her second husband. Alfred Kincaid is her third.
First, fifth, who cares? Hey, wait a minute, I remember him. He mysteriously vanished, and wasn't Buffy arrested and charged with his disappearance?
Well, yes, but the charges were dropped.
Oh, just a minute. Didn't her first husband disappear too? What was his name?
Randolph Percy Rassendale. And yes, he did disappear, but she was never charged with anything for him.
Oh, I'm sure that's a great comfort to her current husband.
Mr. Dingwall, I'm sure they're very happy together. Now, can we get on with the situation at hand? Ah, here's our coffee.
Yes, Mrs. Willowcrisp, your sophisticated frappuccino, and for you, sir, sludge.
Yes, I'm sure it is. Okay, Pillow Strip, your problem.
Well, Mr. Dingwall, as I said, the staff are reporting seeing a man who is dead.
Okay, first of all, stop calling them staff. For lack of a rougher description, let's call them dancers.
Okay, the dancers have been seeing a man who is dead.
And just what do you want me to do?
Should
you be hiring a gypsy or a ghost hunter?
Mr. Dingwall, I need someone who is discreet and will not spread this all over town.
And how do you know I wouldn't?
Because you owe me a lot of money.
Huh, that's a good reason.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you agree. Now let's start working on my problem.
Okay. Tell me a little more about the Kitty Cat Club. How much of it do you own, and who are the other owners?
Well, I own a large amount of it.
How much? 60%?
A little more.
It's not the time to be cagey. How much do you own?
Well, let's see. A little more.
Just tell me how much.
75%.
75%? That makes you the principal owner. Now that is embarrassing. Your A-list friends would love to hear that.
Mr. Dingwall, not so loud. Let's just move on, shall we?
Okay, who owns the other 25%?
I think just lost. Okay, John and Elsie Farthingworth own 50%, and 10% belongs to the manager, Skip Dale. Farthingworth bought his share from Buffy Kincaid.
Okay, the Farthingworths are another of your A-list snobs. Interesting who he bought it from.
Yes, and they would appreciate your discretion.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Now, who in heaven's name is Skip Dale?
Skip Dale is the son of Andrew Johnson Packingham with his second wife, Audrey. She's married to Alexander James Longworth now.
I don't care who's married to who right now. I can't be bothered to keep up with this A-list matrimonial merry-go-round. Just tell me about this Dale guy.
Yes, well, his real name is Walter Dale Packingham, but he's always been known as Skip. and he uses Skipdale as a business name. He didn't want to succeed on his father's name.
Or have anyone know about his association with the Sleepy Club.
Mr. Dingwall, I will thank you not to disparage my friends and their family.
Okay. I'm sure he's an individual of the highest moral character who just happens to run the sleaziest business in town.
Thank you. Now, where do we go on from here?
We'll meet this evening at the Kitty Cat Club and talk to your man of high moral character and see what he has to say. I'll do some checking. See you there.
We will return to our program shortly, but first a word from our sponsor, Live-Right Appliances, their dealers and agents. Gentlemen of our listening audience, are you searching for just the right item to show the little lady just how much you really care? Well, look no longer, for Live-Right has a new item, fresh from our research laboratories in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Yes, our brilliant scientists, ever vigilant to our customers' needs, have created for your use a new and improved floor wax. Shine On. Yes, shine on. As the little lady is down on her hands and knees waxing and polishing the floor, you can rest assured she knows just how much you really care. Shine On, the perfect gift. When the floor is finished, please ensure small children and pets do not walk, crawl, or lie on it for at least 8 days. And now back to our program. Dirk waits impatiently outside the Kitty Cat Club for the arrival of Holly Willowcrisp. Suddenly a voice calls out from a darkened alley at the side of the club.
Mr. Dingwall, over here, over here.
What are you doing hiding in the alley?
Well, I can't let anybody see me going in this club. It would destroy my reputation as leader of the A-list social set.
Yes, I can see where being seen here might be a problem. So how do we get in the club?
There's a side entrance just down here. It leads directly to the office, so no one will see us. Follow me.
Obviously, you know the way well.
Through this door and down the hall. Quickly, so no one can see. Ah, here's the office. Let's get inside before somebody sees me.
Aunt Holly, a pleasure to see you. This must be Dirk Dingwall.
Good to see you, Skip. Now please tell Mr. Dingwall what's been going on.
Well, it started about 3 weeks ago. First, the dancers reported seeing a strange man walking through the back area. But every time we tried to find him, it simply disappeared.
How about side doors and back doors?
After it happened twice, we put guards on all the exits, but we never saw him. No one ever saw him come and go.
What's the door right next to the office?
That one leads to the basement storeroom.
And what's down there?
We use it to store extra tables and chairs, boxes of linen, a few other things.
And there's no exit from there?
Not that I know.
What can you tell me about the history of this building?
Holly, it's you.
Tell me about
Your
pages.
place.
Sorry. I'm losing my pages. What in heaven's name are you asking about history for?
Butt out, Aunt Holly. Now tell me about the building.
Well, I can tell you it was once a bootlegger's building. We used to run illegal whiskey out of here. The front was a diner. Looked pretty legitimate. Kept the cops away.
Now that's interesting.
I'm surprised you didn't remember that from when you worked here, Aunt Holly.
You used to work here, Aunt Holly?
That was a long time ago.
Oh, please. You can tell me all about it, Aunt Holly.
If you must know, I only worked here for a few weeks, selling cigarettes. Now, can we please get back to the problem at hand?
Okay, Aunt Holly. We'll talk about it later. I'm going to have a look at the basement. Do you want to come along, Aunt Holly?
No, there are spiders down there and I hate spiders. And stop calling me Aunt Holly.
Okay. You stay up here and sell some cigarettes, or whatever it was you used to do. I'll check things out in the basement.
Do you need me for anything else, Mr. Dingwall? If not, I'd like to get back to running the business.
Just a couple more things. You said furniture was rearranged?
Yeah, a table and its chairs were moved directly in front of the stage.
And do these visits always happen around the same time?
No. They vary from day to day.
Okay, I'm going to have a look downstairs.
Just what will Dirk Dingwall find in the basement? Holly Willowcrisp waits impatiently for his return, and finally...
What took you so long? You've been down there for over an hour.
Well, I can tell you, Clip, it's a very interesting place. Very interesting. By the way, there's lots of spiders. Oh, you should tell young Skip to get the stairs fixed. They creak rather badly.
Yuck, spiders. I don't need to hear that. What do we do now, Mr. Dingwall?
Well, we sit and wait for the arrival of our phantom. You can stay hidden in the office. I'll sit here over by the door and listen.
You're just going to sit there? Shouldn't be out and about looking to see what's going on?
No need. I'll know when it's time for me to do something. So you just relax, Aunt Holly, and let me do my job in comfort. Or you can tell me about the time you worked here.
Never mind, Mr. Dingwall. That's a story you are never going to hear. I promise you.
Oh, don't worry. One day I'll find out about this little bit of your sordid past, Aunt Holly.
It's not so sordid. I just don't care to talk about it to you or have it known to my friends and acquaintances. Now, just how long do you plan to sit here? And don't call me Aunt Holly.
Well, as long as it takes. I can wait. You know what people say? It'll all come out in the wash. I'm just going to sit here until something happens. So just relax, keep quiet.
Yes, just how long will Dirk Dingwall wait? Only time will tell. We pause now for station identification. This is CGLY Radio 212 on your dial, broadcasting only the finest entertainment to our listening audience. 50,000 watts of only the best radio shows. Remember, Radio 212, broadcasting the very best for you. And now back to our program. Dirk and Holly sit quietly in the kitty-cat office, just waiting.
We've been sitting here for over an hour and nothing has happened. What are we waiting for?
Shh! Did you hear that?
Hear what? I just hear the music from the club and all those idiots cheering and jeering.
There it is again. Now I've got it.
Suddenly, Dirk Dingwall leaps from his chair and races out the door and runs toward the basement. And when he returns to the office, he has a small, disheveled, bearded little man by the back of the collar.
Well, here's your mysterious vanishing visitor.
Mr. Dingwall, how did you know?
Simple, Willikers. This used to be a bootlegger's building. So many of these buildings had tunnels connecting them to other buildings, so they could move the liquor in secretly. It was just a matter of finding the entrance. It leads to an abandoned building 2 blocks away. Oh, and hearing him come. Squeaky stairs. I told you about that.
First of all, thank you for using my name properly. But do you know who he is?
Yes, and so do you. Have a really good look.
Oh my God, it's...
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll find out in just a moment the identity of our mystery visitor. But first, a word from our sponsor, Live Right Appliances, their dealers and agents. Ladies, are you finding it embarrassing that your cheese slices are not perfectly even? Do you cringe when guests look at your cheese slices with disdain? Well, ladies, worry no longer, for Live Right Appliances has just the right thing to save you from this embarrassing situation. Yes, we now have the Live Right semi-automatic cheese slicer that will give you perfect cheese slices every single time. Simply adjust the lever, the calibration setting, the handle grip, and the slicing blade to the correct settings, and you will find perfect slices every single time. You must always remember our motto. You should always remember to live right with Live Right. And now back to our program. Just who is this mysterious visitor?
My God, it's Fauntleroy Reginald Armistead III. But he's dead.
Well, apparently he's not. You want to speak up there, Armstead?
Yes, Fauntleroy. I really want to hear what you have to say.
Well, it's a long story.
Oh, we've got the time.
No, we don't. The longer we stay here, the more the chance someone is going to see me.
Don't hurry, just take your time.
Well, when Buffy told me she wanted to divorce, I was heartbroken, simply heartbroken. Gave up on everything. I signed over most everything to her. We got a quiet divorce in Reno, and I dropped out of sight.
Poor guy. She took you for everything.
Well, I kept a little something for myself. $2 million in cash, property in the Bahamas, my business interest in Peru. That's where I've been the past few years, mining for gold in Peru. Found it, too.
This is a little something.
But why are you staying in the abandoned building?
Well, I didn't want anybody to know I was here. I couldn't really stay in the Plaza, the Ritz, or the Carlton, now could I?
Well, of course not. So you came back for a visit to see the dancers, and after everyone had left, you moved your regular table back to where you liked it, right in front of the stage.
Oh, yes, I spent many happy and enjoyable hours there.
I'll just bet you did. Best view in the house.
But why did you stay hidden? Everybody thought that Buffy had bumped you off and disposed of you.
Well, Holly, you must simply admit that being charged in my disappearance placed Buffy almost at the top of the A social set.
Who's Buffy?
No, it's Holly. Typo. Your turn.
That's you.
That's you.
True, she was the most invited socialite in town. She was invited everywhere.
Are you telling me that a possible murderer was the hit of the socialite season?
Well, of course, having a possible murderer on your guest list will ensure your stature on the A-list social circuit. How could you even ask?
Oh, my most sincere apologies. But you still haven't said why you stayed out of sight.
Well, Buffy asked me to. I could never refuse her anything, even after our divorce. Good thing, too. I heard she and Kincaid are having trouble and she might become available again. So when I came back a couple of weeks ago, I set up in the abandoned building. Fortunately, I found a caterer who would deliver.
My goodness, what a story. Buffy and Kincaid in trouble. I hadn't heard. Tell me more.
Oh, good grief, I've had enough. Your problem's been solved. The place isn't haunted. I'm leaving. Enjoy the reunion. Good night.
And once again, our brilliant sleuth, Dirk Dingwall, has solved another mystery. We now move ahead. It's 1 month later, and we find Dirk in his office, poring over information that will help solve another mystery. That's our man Dirk. Always on the job, always ready, always vigilant, always alert.
Well, well, Mr. Dingwall, I see you are doing what you do best.
Oh, just taking a short break, Aunt Holly. How are things with the kitty cat club, now that everyone knows it's not haunted?
Actually, Mr. Dingwall, it's doing very well indeed. Business is up considerably.
Oh, really? I thought you'd already sewn up all the sleazy characters in town.
Mr. Dingwall, please. We've made a number of changes. The basement has had all the spiders removed. It's been remodeled and is now the bootlegger's basement bar. Very popular with the single malt whiskey crowd. Expensive whiskey and great profits. Oh, and the abandoned building. We've partnered up with Fauntleroy, put a first-class bar and restaurant in and advertised the building as haunted. We've called the place Ghostly Encounters. We're booked solid for a year. Everybody loves ghosts.
Just what ghost is haunting this building?
Simple, Mr. Dingwall. It's Randolph Percy Rassendale, Buffy Kincaid's first husband.
Oh, wonderful, just wonderful.
And so ends our program this evening. On behalf of our sponsor, Livrite Appliances, their dealers and agents, I hope you have enjoyed the program as much as we have enjoyed bringing it to you. And now, as we sign off and say goodnight, we always ask that you remember our motto. You should always
Live right with Live Right.
Way to go, Buffy.